I think it's like a lot of things. The more hours you spend, you kind of learn something from every job.
I'm driven, full of ideas, upbeat. Most importantly, I'm incredibly enthusiastic.
I found like a lot of times if you kind of just connect with the person, like have a normal conversation with them as well, besides just kind of trying to pitch yourself, it sometimes matters just to like have that human connection. Well, when I read the script, I really found myself caring about what happened to the two main characters. So, and my character specifically just has a sort of admirable quality about him. He's always correcting her and trying to educate her constantly, and she's, an educated woman, so she's sort of frustrated by that. It was just a wonderfully rich and complex character, and the relationship seemed really real. You really care about the character. You get drawn into their story and their issue.
I just like that this character is, she just is imperfect compared to some of the other characters I've played. She can be pretty inconsiderate of her best friend and her family, and makes mistakes, and she felt real to me in that way.
It felt like such an interesting thing to say to someone, because in a way it's really harsh. I mean, I don't think I've ever said that to someone, but she's trying to hurt him at that point, I think. Maybe subconsciously, I mean, and she's trying to take the high road if she can, and that's basically all that's left to say at that point. That's, I think, the kindest thing at the same time as being a bit harsh. It's the kindest thing she can think to say at that moment. Or not that she's even trying to be kind, it's just what comes out, I think.
I think it's like a lot of things. The more hours you spend, you kind of learn something from every job.
I'm just lucky to be able to work on a show with such good writing and I have such good material. It's just icing on the cake that people have caught on to it.
Just the great writing on the show. I mean, it's wonderful to get to speak that language again and to jump back into that fast rhythm of the dialogue. It's just great to work on.
What drew you to the project, and how did you get into character?
Well, I read the first 3 scripts when they offered me the role, so I just loved the scripts and was excited about the complexity of the role. So, yeah, I decided to take it on. And what was the second part of that question?
Oh, how did you get into character?
Oh,
about 10 minutes.
Well, that's such a, it's a process, I think I'm wondering how to sum it up. I think that just with a great deal of focus and I used music a little bit to get into character, and then I just tried to keep her with me all day on set, not really staying in character outwardly, but just keeping her in my mind. Well, it's beautifully shot. It's very artfully done, all around. So just the quality of the work and, the beautiful performances by everyone. And it's a great story. It's just such a satisfying story.
I've always read a lot ever since I was little.
The plot of The Good Soldier and The Good Guy are very, well, the book inspired Giulio, to kind of write this movie and sort of integrate experiences that he had working on Wall Street, and people he knew, I guess, reminded him of characters in the book. So that was very intentional in the storytelling, and all the books actually serve a purpose in the plot. When they're mentioned, there's something going on that echoes what happens in the book, so it's really cool. I had read Lolita. I'd read some of them, but I haven't read The Good Soldier. We just were told a lot about it from Giulio, or what was important about it to him.
I mean, I had not read The Handmaid's Tale until I was cast, so I read it immediately afterward and loved it and wanted to read everything she's ever written.
To memorize my lines, I write them down next to the line. I just write it out. Something about writing it down helps it stick. Then just going over it, saying it out loud, just the repetition of it helps.
I did a little bit of community theater when I was younger, and I thought it was utterly terrifying, like terrifying to go out on the stage. But then once you start to speak or to dance or to sing or whatever it is you're doing, then it's kind of exhilarating. I remember having that feeling even when I was little. So, or comfortable. It's like exhilarating and comfortable at the same time, or it starts to feel that way once you get over the absolute terror and fear. A lot of actors are shy, as it turns out. But I mean, it makes sense in a way, because it is, I think, an outlet for people to, you know, invest themselves in something and, you know, express something in a certain way, you know, that they probably don't in their real lives.
Yeah, I came to college to NYU when I was 18, and
Is that where you were discovered, or were you discovered before that?
well, while I was in school here, I actually started going on a handful of auditions, and that's when I got the part on Gilmore Girls, and I moved to LA shortly after that, and I've been doing that.
But before that, you were a model.
Yes.
Right.
I was sent on the audition by my agent at the time, my manager, and they just kept calling me back, and so
And eventually you got the job.
yeah.
So it was literally like untrained actor.
Oh yeah.
Auditions.
I didn't know what I was doing.
It's
at all.
incredible.
It was yeah, insane. I was not expecting that at all. I mean, I was kind of exploring my options. I wanted to see what I could do. So I was kind of, you know, I was going to film school, and I went to this acting class to tape the classes for the actors so that they could see what they were doing on tape, and it was just really nice to see them get it right, and it kind of, you know, I guess that's what directors feel when they have a scene complete and they really live it, and I like that aspect of it. So shortly thereafter I started going out on auditions, and I got the program, and then I got this, and then I read the script, and I sat down with the director and talked about the story, and I asked him lots of questions about what he was going to do with the film, and he answered them all, and then a lot of really good actors were attached to the script, and then they asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said yes, and then I couldn't really see where it was going because I'd never done it before, so yeah, I had one image when I read the script, and then there was another draft of the script that gave me a completely different idea, and then when we shot it, I kind of saw it coming together, but then once I saw the film, it was obviously more clear.
Tackling a work like Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale is really something to take great care with, and I really felt a sense of wanting to really focus and definitely deliver, you know, the best work I could, because just working with such an amazing cast, you know, you want to deliver your best. Yeah, I probably did have a few nightmares, you know, like through the filming experience. I definitely tried to, you know, imagine my character's journey as fully as I could, you know, so you know, it was an interesting experience filming. I think that it's, you know, a timely project. You know, no matter who you are, I think everyone's going to be able to take something away from it that really, you know, is resonant and probably a bit emotional, but yeah, it brings everything into focus, right? So it's a time in your life when you really, you know, you only want to leave home to work if you absolutely, you know, love the project and feel that it's important.
It's more work than I ever imagined myself doing. It's a very strenuous schedule, and it's changed my whole lifestyle because I had to move to Los Angeles. And it's great though. It's you know, it makes other things possible.